First I'd say thank God for this opportunity to even be here in this situation. We've come a long ways, and to be in a point right now to be in the semifinal game of the conference, playing against a really well-coached and really good SMU team that's beaten us twice already this year, to be able to come in and understand that it's pretty much a home game for them and still beat them here with everything at stake, with them having the opportunity to make it to the NCAA, us having an opportunity to make it into the NCAA, for the guys to face adversity throughout the game, heavily face adversity, and then come out on top and push through with everything that happened. Jalen getting injured, Tyler catching a cramp, DeAndre fouling out. Man, I couldn't be even more proud of these guys. They did a heck of a job.
We'll go to the front right and the green.
Question for Earl and Penny. Obviously, with everything you said, Jalen, DeAndre's foul trouble, you needed somebody to step up kind of down the front court. What can you just kind of say about Earl's performance?
It's we understand we call him easy. He's easy going, but we know he has game. And he was ready for his moment. He was ready for his opportunity. You know, I told him it can be an obligation or it can be an opportunity. He seized the moment and took advantage of an opportunity and came in and played big for us, man. I'm really proud of him. He's been waiting his turn, and tonight he showed what he can. Well, we already know what he can do, but he showed up for us and played really well.
Two things, Penny. Right here. There was a lot of things that happened that had to happen for you guys to win. But if you picked the most important thing, what was it? And then just the whole sequence with Jalen going down, going out, coming back, and then what's his status like? Take us through all that.
I can honestly say this. In the first half, Earl comes in. I had been looking at him the entire half and told him, nodded to him and told him I was going to put him in. And he got in and got a tip in. And right before the end of the half, he made a heck of a block that could have changed momentum for them. And when he got that block, man, those are just winning plays. To me, that's like the biggest play of the game because he got a tip in, and then he came back. Right before the end of the half, Josh got beat off the dribble, and he went up and blocked it right before the end of the half to take us into the half with some momentum. Yeah, Jalen, man, I saw that he fell really hard. Like, he hit the court really hard. He didn't get the cushion on Kendrick Davis. You know, he goes in there and he tries to throw his body into him, and he was up so high that he hit the bottom. And when he fell, I was just hoping that his shoulder, his hand, nothing was broken. I know he'll be a little sore, but we'll take that over anything being broken.
If you don't mind waiting for the microphone, just so we have someone recording it on it.
Is it a sprain?
He just has it taped right now. They hadn't told us exactly what it was. I just know he's going to be sore. We'll know more tonight.
Thank you.
Penny, coming into this game, you guys, over your last 13 games, you were 11-2, and those two losses happened to come to SMU. First off, how good did this one feel to get it against them? And second of all, do you guys feel like you're peaking at the right time right now?
Well, yeah, you know, the first game, we didn't have everybody. They're still a good team. I've always respected their culture and how they play. They're very smart, and obviously they're well coached. So the first game, I knew it was going to be tough for us to win because we were undermanned, and the guys fought their butts off because it's just one of the 5,000-point scorers in that starting lineup. It's going to be hard for freshmen to beat them. We came into SMU with high hopes because we were on a streak, and they just beat us handily. Kendrick took over the game, and Marcus Weathers took over the game, and the rest of the guys just played unbelievable defense and did what they had to do. I didn't play the game plan that I wanted to play against them in either game, and I went back to what we were doing last year against Kendrick and just making his life hard, and we went back to what we used to do, and it worked. But it does make this win feel much better because we didn't want to go down 0-3 to those guys, and we really wanted to show what we were all about as well.
Coach, a couple questions. Obviously, we're far from Memphis, but Memphis fans flooded the stands today, even chanting "Whoop That Trick," which is the anthem. So, did this at all feel like a home game for you guys, being that Memphis showed up in a way that was massive here at Dickies Arena? And then the second question is, can you just speak to Alo's performance with those crazy defensive plays throughout the course of the game? Yeah, it does seem like a home game. We saw the sea of blue, and our fans came out to really support, and we really appreciate that because this is a home game for SMU. And our fans came out to make noise and to give our guys the energy, and it helped a lot. And with Alo, nothing surprises me about him. He's a winner. And we always talk about winners winning. He just makes winning plays the entire game.
Hey, Penny, this is your fourth year. This is your first time going to the championship game. What emotions are you feeling going to your first championship game?
I feel great. You know, to be, you know, if you'd asked us a month ago, 3 months ago, you know, we would have been saying, yeah, we're going to be there, and then we went through the struggle. But now it just feels great because we're playing the type of Memphis basketball. Our defense is traveling, and anytime we have that, I'm great. But I'm feeling really good behind this. I'm going to enjoy this win tonight, but we know that we have a tough Houston team. But to be in the championship, yeah, I feel great.
For Penny, then I have a question for Alo. Did going through the struggles that you went through this year help? In other words, you saw all the resilience that you built up this year sort of come to play today. Did that help today?
It does. Everything that we went through, from the Georgia game, how we lost, from the ECU game, how we lost, how we gave up a bunch of points to Murray State in the second half, a 50-point half for them to win, playing against a team last night that all the experiences that we had with the 9 losses are coming into play right now when we get into adversity because we've been there before.
And then for Alo, did you take it personally to lock up Kendrick? What was your approach there? And what's it like as someone who had to sit out last year during this postseason run to be a part of it, to be popping your Memphis jersey and hearing whoop that trick and everything else?
I most definitely took the matchup personally. You know, we play the same position, and he's the player of the year. And, you know, I go in and just want to be a great defender. So I wanted to take that matchup personal, and I talked to Coach about that. No matter what, I just want to stay on him. And, you know, also right before the game, we saw a couple quotes that they said, as in, you know, they felt like they had already won the game before it happened. So they just added fuel to the fire. And that was just something that really just stayed on my mind, especially coming into the game today. Oh, man, after sitting out last year, especially coming into the same practice arenas, when I couldn't even run full speed, and now we're going into there and I'm able to just be on the court, I'm just very thankful just to be more healthy than I was last year. And just to see the fans come out and being able to give them my all for Memphis, that's just the most important thing to me every day.
For any of the players, your coach mentioned, obviously Jalen got a couple of early fouls and then got hurt later on. Dandridge and Williams both got into foul trouble. Was there any point where you thought maybe this wasn't your day, or are you surprised to be sitting here getting ready for a championship game tomorrow?
Like y'all said earlier, with the 9 losses, we've been through a lot of different things, and practice, we always play small sometimes, so we just had a lot of experience in those aspects, and we just did a great job of adjusting with Coach Penny, just putting us in the right situations to just weather the storm. And we never looked down or got rattled. We're a very experienced team from last season and this season, so we just always stay forward and just weather the storm.
This is for Penny and maybe Landers too. You're down 55-51. It's like a media timeout or something, and you guys came out, and it goes to what you're saying generally, but what did you do, you think, offensively, defensively in those final 6 minutes where it felt like, you know, that ultimately that's where you won the game?
For us, we just got the ball in the same players' hands and they capitalized. You know, they missed a lot of what we call small shots, little bunnies around the rim. Lester and Chiz, Landers missed a lot of shots. It was winning time, and they made baskets in the time that we needed them to make them. They had missed them the entire game, and then finally started making them at the end. We ran the same plays, they just capitalized on them.
Landers, what was that like for you? I mean, you in the first half especially, it seemed like you missed a whole bunch of shots you've been making lately. How did that last stretch feel to really kind of gut out a win when things were stacked against you?
For me, it felt good because Coach kept his trust in me. The players, they all kept finding me, and I just tried to find a way to come through for them.
All right, in the top middle.
Hey, this one's for Penny, and then any individual player that wanted to touch on it. Just DeAndre, once he fouled out, he wasn't a non-factor in the game. He had energy on the bench. He was talking guys up. Just can you speak to kind of the veteran leadership he was showing, especially late in that game?
Yeah, we know Dre. He felt like he let us down. So the one thing that he could do was cheer and be on the sideline, keeping the energy positive. And that's what he was going to do. You know, he wasn't just going to sit over there and pout because he fouled out. He wanted us to win the game, to have a second chance at it. And when his teammates started playing well, or when we were down 4 with 6 minutes and 55 seconds on the clock, he was just getting the guys back up. And, you know, that's what you need. You need the selflessness instead of the selfishness. And in today's game, most players would have been over there pouting because they fouled out. That's just who DeAndre Williams is, man. He's a total team player.
Time for a couple more questions. We're going to go to the far right, and then we have two more coming in the middle.
Hey, everybody, Earl Timberlake.
I'm sorry. I don't have
I
a
just
question
didn't.
for Earl, though. This is for Coach, right here.
All right, I'll do
Hello.
this.
Okay, so you had two players go down. For us, it really looked like they weren't going to come back. One, what was the conversation like when they said, "Hey, Coach, I want to come back"? And then how was that a testament just not only to the character but the heart of your team?
Yeah, well, when I went over to Jalen, he was crying. I was like, oh my God, this has to be bad because he's tough. And he was like, my shoulder. Then he was like, I can't feel my hand. And I was like, is anything broke? I'm like the doctor. I'm checking him out to make sure that nothing was broken. And when nothing was broken, I was like, okay, come on, get up. And then once it's time to get up, nothing's broken. So when he went to the back, I knew he was going to come back. I knew he was going to go back there. He was not going to let us, play without him if anything wasn't broken. I knew he was going to come back. And with Tyler, he got a cramp and definitely wanted to come back in the game. But it just shows that those guys really want to win, that they want to be on the court and they want to be there for their teammates. It just shows how tough they are as well.
All right, last questions from the friends in the front row.
Earl, kind of what Penny was talking about earlier, when you came in, did you kind of sense that with what's going on with JD, what's going on with Dre, that you kind of needed to do what you did today?
Yeah, I did. Coaches preached to be ready for your moment, and I was ready, And so I got to play today.
All right, one last question.
Earl, how much do you, obviously I would assume you follow college basketball at this time of year and have for a long time. This is the sort of thing you see at this time of year, somebody who's, steps up when their team needs them. How do you feel about that being you tonight?
Bro. It's just a blessing. I just wanted to be ready for my moment. Just want to be there for my teammates. And overall, I just want to win any way I can, help the team.